So here we're going to pick up on something that we mentioned in the last video, and that's evaluating expressions. So we sort of discussed how when you have something like 3x plus 7, and that one's come up a few times, this x here is supposed to represent some number. That either we don't know or we just like to know, what happens when we add 7 to 3 of something. So we don't really care what x is, or we don't know what x is, and we just like to talk about it in general. But of course, you can then replace x with specific values, then calculate what you get in that case. So for example, we don't just have to have one variable x, we can have as many variables as we want. So an expression that would have 3 variables is if you have a small change jar, so if we're getting 1s and 2s, and the penny's gone, I guess, so we've got nickels, dimes, and quarters. And so the amount of money in your jar would be represented as the value of the coin, which is 5 times the number of nickels plus 10 times the number of dimes plus 25 times the number of quarters. And then once you've done that, this is sort of an all-purpose expression, so you can use it to evaluate for some numbers of coins. So let's say you've got 22 nickels, so n would be 22, and 9 dimes. I usually write this in, nothing wrong with that, but usually you write this the other way around. Dimes would be equal to 9, and then, 17 quarters. Let's make life interesting. So then you would write 5 times 22 plus 10 times 9 plus 25 times 17. Let's see if I can do this right the first time. So 5 times 22 is 110. Just stop me if I get something wrong here. And then that's 90. That was easy. And then 25 times 17, I want to say 425. So about 425. Okay. Know why that happened? Okay. So let's see, if you add that up, well, these two are 200. So that's 625, which would be $6.25 in this context. But then, that doesn't mean that these numbers are the numbers forever. You could pick some other values for n, d, and q. So n equals, let's make it easier this time, 3, d equals 2, and q equals, who cares, 10. So that's 5 times 3 plus 2 times 10, or 10 times 2, plus 25 times 10. And so 15 plus 20 plus 250. And so these ones are 35, so 285, or 285. Okay, and then when just negative numbers start popping up, so here's some unknown thing, but you can just substitute in the values that you're given. So we've got 10 times 2 minus 3 times negative 5 minus 4 times negative 3 plus 7. So the first one, 20, and then minus 3 times minus 5, or minus 3 times 5. Either way, you're going to end up with adding 15. This is adding 12, and then the 7 is just 7. 7 just equals 7. Okay, so let's make sure we get this right. So these two are 35, and these two are 19. 35 plus 19 should be 54. 54. Okay, so that's evaluating expressions.